is today? March 24th, 2026. The topic today: extreme situations fuel the possibility of extreme reward. I think this is a very broadly applicable sort of idea. The first place I think of it, well, I'll start with that and then I'll lead back to kind of what inspired it for me. And that would be that you think about the rock stars, the music stars, pop stars of music. And I guess maybe if you think about the ones from the past, maybe more specifically, and I'm just maybe mostly out of touch with the current, famous music people that are songwriters, I guess. And the ones that probably had the great breakups were the ones that wrote songs and were motivated to perform and prove something in a way that, along with lining up with their opportunities and their timing, luck, location, were able to kind of springboard all of that into stardom. So in that case, extreme situations fuel the possibility of extreme reward. Their extreme situation was a mixture of those lucky elements and maybe the tragic element of their getting dumped or somebody dying in their life or whatever it was that drove them to write that music. And and some, I guess another sort of example would be, and maybe this is a trope, or maybe it is, in fact, partial reality, and that would be that often comedians essentially come from troubled or challenging childhoods. And I would say that is a very direct, almost linear example of an extreme situation fueling the possibility of extreme reward. The troubled youth becomes the more comically adept adult. So there's that linear kind of relationship in my sense, and also in the sense of many people who have become financially successful, which I am not yet, but I think I have the potential for it, and maybe almost in a similar way. The extreme situation that fuels the possibility of extreme reward. Many of the greatest entrepreneurs brought themselves out of essential poverty because of the motivation of that poverty. It inspired them to become or work extremely hard and become something greater than what they started as. And similar to like maybe a music pop star or whatever, there's other um, almost chemical elements that inspire that reaction, that chain reaction that leads to success, that financial success. Because there is always an element of luck, there are so many people who work hard in life but just don't become the successes that other people who work hard in maybe the same exact way do become successes. There's a timing element there, and there's always luck involved. And it's all, I don't know, it's sort of ephemeral. I'm not sure if that's the right word. So that's why in my statement here, extreme situations fuel the possibility of extreme reward. Right now, my extreme situation is basically my general work as a director of photography has essentially kind of dried up since I've moved here to Utah. I made a calculated risk assessment, and it has thus far failed me. But in the other sense, having failed financial expectation has extremely motivated me to really hammer away at this app, which I believe has the potential to, if not by itself, through the skills I have been acquiring in the production of it, fuel the potential for financial stability. So that is what inspired the thought. And that was my very long-winded and hopefully understandable explanation of it. I think it's definitely a kind of a deeper concept, which is why I've been talking in this very kind of stilted, slower pace than I normally do, although I'm never the fastest YouTube style talker. I do believe the clarity of my thoughts is important to express the depth of these thoughts. So that is my thinking, and that kind of thing, it does in this instance more express the optimism I have that I'm doing something good and that I'm doing something that could lead to greater things for me in the future and hopefully my future family. And if not my future family, at least my future siblings' family is that part of my family. So there we have it. What kind of call to action would that mean? I think what this means to me is that even in dire situations, if they're extreme or not, at any gradiented level of direness, the level at which you might feel you have gone down really is comparable to the level you can ascend up in the other direction. I almost think it's kind of a requisite to go low in order to go high. I'm not sure it really is a requisite, but I do kind of get that feeling. That is my kind of guttural feeling. And so to that end, if you are experiencing hard or challenging or tough or negative times in life, I think understanding that depth of challenge can lead to that height of positive outcome, positive experience. And looking forward to that possibility can bring hope and should bring hope, hopefully. So, wallow not forever. You can find better points in life. They just might not be immediate, but they are in the future for you if you extend your hope into a belief and work toward that positive end. Enough of my soapbox. Today was a very boring day. Otherwise, I basically, I did sleep all right, and I had a good walk. Weather was nice, and otherwise, just hammered on the app all day. Made a lot of good progress, a lot of good polishing refinements in sections I worked on in the past. And I still have new sections I need to kind of fill out a little bit more, but things are moving good. Also, was able to find a meeting for some work potentially upcoming, so I'll be having that tomorrow. I'm just looking forward to that. That is all. It was a good day. Thanks for swinging in, listening to all those ramblings. Take care. Until next time.